The big man in black simply wraps his bony hand on the front door of any unsuspecting soul, regardless of their age, sex, or nationality, and then sweeps them off to the regions beyond. I had the pleasure of meeting the Reaper himself and follow him on a job. Surprisingly enough, Death was a rather high-spirited fellow. I suppose when you've been at it as long as he had, one day tends to blend into the next. I'm sure it's a bit taxing at times, but he really seemed to enjoy his work. We took a walk through one of his old stomping grounds, and he explained to me his take on the whole idea of life. Life, as he said, was a flickering microsecond in the existence of time, and the Earth was merely the eye crust of the universe. To be honest, he really didn't have any opinion whatsoever, except for the fact that when it was all over, he was going to have to find something else to do with his time. As selfish and unfeeling as that may sound, I have to admit I knew exactly what he meant. I soon began to realize that there really wasn't much to life at all. You get up, get dressed, find something to do with the rest of your day, and then go back to sleep. The only thing I've found to be the primary goal of most people is to somehow acquire a great deal of money. Money seemed to be the key element that set everyone apart. There were those who didn't have any and didn't make any effort to achieve any. Then there were those who had more than they could possibly ever need, and yet didn't seem to have enough. This thought set me off on a quest to discover what the deal with money really was, and to maybe make a little of my own along the way. I met a girl named Sherry when I was in a place called San Francisco. Sherry explained to me that she had a job where she made $500 an hour to dress in other people's clothing. Apparently, she would change in and out of a variety of outfits, as photographers would then take a series of pictures of her walking up and down a long, slender platform. Providing she didn't fall off the long, slender platform and subsequently damage herself severely, it was a relatively good way to make a living. She then went on about her boyfriend who worked in a small town called Hollywood, where he was producing 3 movies for $30 million apiece. For some reason, however, she really didn't seem to be as interested in the movies he was making as much as she was interested in the $90 million he was spending on making them. A few years later, I passed through a small town in Kentucky, where I met a man named Elroy. Elroy worked on a farm and lived with his brother Larry, who had just been let go from his job. Apparently, the store that Larry worked at, as well as a majority of small businesses in the area, were forced to close down when a large department store chain decided that it would be nice to open a franchise less than 2 miles out of town. I told Elroy I would do what I could to help, but when I spoke with a representative of the company, he said that they felt that building another store in the area would allow all of the people to do all of their shopping in one place, and in turn would be an asset to the community. Unfortunately, because of the construction of such a monolith, the community would be virtually non-existent. This logic, however, escaped them completely. I apologized to Elroy and said I would be back when I could do something more. From this whole experience, I began to realize that one of the most important things in a person's life was to have a job. Not just so that they could make enough money to pay the bills and supply themselves and their loved ones with the essential elements of survival, but also so that they could feel like they meant something. Something to give themselves a title, an image, or an identity. I decided it was time that I tried to get one as well. I soon decided to call up Elroy and see if he wanted to go into business together. He agreed and we started up a company doing various odd jobs around people's homes. Basically, it just involved a lot of gardening and yard work, but I got the hang of it fairly quickly. I did make a little bit of money when I stopped off for a quick dessert one afternoon, and subsequently sued the establishment due to a massive ice cream headache.